Welcome back. Bout number 12. 2-minute rounds, because we're up to the 141-pound class here. We've been all over the place, from 75 to 178, 145, 100 to the 200 class. Now back down to the 141. And what would that constitute? Is that the welterweight? 141.
Yes. Yep.
Bryan Rycraft. He's also unattached. He is in the blue trunks, ready to go here. And his opponent from Canada, actually from Cornwall, is Tony Luis. We have a Tony Luis right here in Watertown, but he's not a boxer. And the beginning of this bout starts right now. What can you tell us about these boxers, John?
I have never seen either one of these fighters, so it's going to be fresh for me, just like everybody watching at home.
It's a little tough to call because they're both wearing blue trunks, but the light blue headgear is our friend, I would assume, Bryan Rycraft, with the unattached status here.
And Tony's in the black top.
Exactly. There you go. Better way of putting it. Even so far, but boy, nice
crisp punches.
Crisp punches by both opponents.
Both throwing some pretty even fight right now.
Yes, it is.
In amateur boxing, too, this is what it's all about. You try to... even though some would argue with you, the principle of it is try to evenly match a fight as possible, because you're trying to push one another to the next level. So you really don't, when you see a really lopsided fight, that's not a well-matched amateur fight. You want them close. You want them at a skill level, age, weight, obviously, are in there, and you want it all zoned in so that they push each other to improve. And that's exactly what these two guys are doing with one another.
Both of them, especially.
It's a give and take. This thing is this is a dead-on even fight right now.
It is. I'd have to give the advantage. Oh, just as I said that,
he's throwing some great counter shots.
But you know what's impressive? Oh wow, that was a nice.
They are standing in the center of the ring and just popping one another.
But it's the left and right combinations. It really. That seems to be the best advantage for any boxers we've seen today, or those who have the ability to do the 1-2 punch as opposed to just leaning or supporting themselves with one arm. Absolutely.
You have to be a well-rounded fighter. You're not going to advance very far in this sport until you can. You need as much in your arsenal as possible.
So the end of round one.
Good round. That would be. I'd hate to be a judge on this one. That was an even round, dead even.
Yeah, I dare say, although I might just give the advantage to Bryan Rycraft. And Tony Luis, of course, from Cornwall, looking just as good, so this can go either way.
Yeah, this is one of those fights that if it were to end right now, whoever got the nod, you could understand it if it went either way, because it's definitely a give and take. These guys are hanging in there and popping. This is a perfect fight where coaching and conditioning really will play a factor. Let's see how the next round pans out. If conditioning starts to wear you down some, then you'll start to see bigger openings in your defense. We'll have to see.
So this is when you're talking about someone who's not associated with a boxing club. He has two members, however, in his corner. Mm-hmm. So yes. Are they his friends or?
Well, it depends. It could be a father. It could be somebody with some boxing skill that's not affiliated with a recognized amateur boxing association club, because you have sanction and due fees and rules you have to follow. You can be unattached and come to events like this and fight if you work it out with whoever's putting it on. And, again, those usually more often than not, it's family members or something like that have some skills and begin coaching kids and relatives. And
a little slow start here in the second round. Luis is in the black tank top. He's the one punching.
You can obviously see
he's from Canada.
Being unattached doesn't mean that you're just, hey, I think I can fight, I'm going to sign up for this. This gentleman's obviously well-skilled and knows what's going on. He's well-coached in boxing. He didn't wake up one day and be able to put these combinations together. He's doing a good job.
Oh, we saw that with, I believe, Matthew Farney?
Yes, yeah, he's unattached. And
unattached.
He does come up to our gym and work out.
Yeah. In the corner, Canadian looking to get out of that. Boy, nice.
Working well from his back.
Oh, but then he takes a nice left.
and delivers a hard right back. This is an even battle.
It really is. Now look at this. Just as he was in the corner, now look at the exchange here, folks.
Great fight.
And they're hitting hard. I mean, we're talking about 141 welterweight class here, but they seem to be hitting as hard as the light heavyweights.
Those are hard shots. Until you stand on the other end of them, warming up with guys or working them in the ring, or even standing there holding focus mitts. I haven't been in the ring for a while with Joey, who will be our next fight coming up, but I worked focus mitts to get him warmed up, and I've been around the fight game for a long time, and just the power that I felt through those focus mitts is amazing. And you think, man, somebody's taking these one after another. I give them credit for standing in there. They definitely deliver hard shots.
We're in the second round here, tail end of 1.5 minutes for both of these young men. In the 100-pound, excuse me, check that. This 2-minute rounds, 141 class.
Yes,
Sorry about that.
Yes.
This would have been over by now, at least in the second round. But both very evenly exchanged. A nice flurry right there.
Another even round. This is a tough fight to score.
So 2 are in the books here in fight number 12 of 14. We have yet to find out who will be in the 14th bout, but what's most anticipated right from the get-go, and really this stems from his appearance here the first time when the Watertown Boxing Club hosted an event back, I believe in March, was Joey Vitale and his decisive win back then. And Joey will be up next. He obviously is in the locker room preparing for his bout up against Eric Crabtree. So as exciting as many of these bouts have been, including the one that we're watching right now, we can guesstimate that the real power is yet to come. And that will be in the 178-pound class. 2-minute rounds up next. But we got 1 round remaining in this exciting matchup right here between the unattached Bryan Rycraft, who I would assume is an American boxer, against
Bryan,
Tony Louise.
You can see his coach there in the corner showing flurries to the body. Essentially, he's telling you when you're in close like that, don't just stand there. Throw. Even if they don't have much power on them, in amateur boxing, those count. So you should be stealing points. If you're in that close, you're going to be there anyway, so you better be moving your hands to be racking up points to midsection shots. Let's see if he follows the advice. And again, that's a good coach knowing that it's a close fight that he's looking at, and he needs all the points that he can get.
Little delay there, but the third round has begun. Once again, the Canadian in black-white tank top, and his opponent, Bryan Rycraft, again, evenly matched bout here. It will all perhaps be decided within the next minute or so.
It's definitely a back-and-forth battle. These guys are great matchup. These guys are as close as you could possibly be.
Wow, look at the power there from the left, but both missing. Finally, somewhat connected there from Rycraft. Rycraft once again. Oh, a nice exchange there. But now a breakup. What was that all about? Now the ref is going over to the corner to instruct one of the coaches about the Canadian boxer.
He may have been reprimanding him for for giving him commands from the corner.
Gotcha. Something you've had experience with.
Yeah. Yep.
About a minute left in this one.
Which I had to point out to the judges, at the time I was not the coach in the corner. I was a boisterous dad. The coach was perfectly quiet, following all the rules that he needed to follow. Which makes it a really tough sport if you have to start enforcing fans and relatives and parents from supporting their kids. That's what I explained. That's going to be a really tough thing to enforce.
Nice connection there by the Canadian, by the way.
Coaches, when the actual fight's taking place, they're not allowed to give orders, shout orders, or directions from the outside of the ring.
Look at this flurry of activity and this bout. And Rycraft, I'd have to say,
Rycraft is he's pulling ahead here.
He definitely has pulled ahead.
He needed this because it was a close fight.
It was a close fight, and now we have this.
They're being warned.
That's a little bit of a disadvantage when you had too close and just eating away time. Rycraft, the pursuer. And by the way, he's got as strong a left as he does a right, it appears, and that will do it. The 12th matchup is over, and again, without any controversial decision, based on what I could see, the unattached Bryan Rycraft wins this bout. The Canadian will go down as loser. Again, according to what Glenn Curry saw here. What do you think?
This may be they may have agreed on a 4-round. It looks like they're going to a 4th round one.
All right, now this is unprecedented. Explain why a 3-round bout all of a sudden turns into a 4th.
There's different levels of amateur,
right.
And once you have enough fights under your belt and different degrees of what you're classified as amateur, you can actually push into a 4th round.
But what determined that 4th round?
They would have had to agree on it as coaches, and it really it's in the guidelines that it should be a 4, but only if they have to agree on it. And there's some mandates that I am not up enough. Kevin would have been the guy to answer that, to tell you there are some that it has to be a 4-round match.
But we went into this thinking that this would be a 3. They made
right.
that decision during the fight.
No, this would have been made. We were advised that it was a 3, but that would have been made before they walked out. That would have been made at the matchmaking time at the start of the day.
Let's see if this works to the Canadians' advantage, because as of 3 rounds, I saw it as a Rycraft win.
Yes, yep.
But
He definitely worked strong in that last round.
He did. And both fighters still with a lot
and again, I apologize
energy.
for some of my ignorance on the rule book, but many of the fans attending today, when I've been sliding in and out, have watched matches and asked me, well, can you clarify? Because it looked like, sure, that guy won, and I wish I could help you, because I don't know a lot of times what they're looking for.
Oh, he lost his mouthpiece.
Yep. It's an automatic stoppage for
Gotcha.
amateur. You have to return the mouthpiece before they continue.
All right. We're resuming the 4th round. The only bout thus far today with 4 rounds.
Unlike pros, if the mouthpiece is gone, they'll wait for a break in the action before they continue.
Interesting.
Rycraft's going to town here.
Wow, he really is. Body blows by Rycraft.
Yep.
Oh,
good
Rycraft.
match.
Good exchange there as well.
Boy, you couldn't have got these guys more evenly matched.
No,
if
you
tried.
can't.
These guys are. This is what amateur boxing is about. These guys are working each other.
Look at Luis with the fancy footwork. Rycraft not having anything. Not intimidated in the least bit. Rycraft now has opponent against the ropes. And just based on that exchange alone and how strong Rycraft continues to look here in the 4th round, it's still his if nothing dramatic happens here with the final seconds.
Yeah, very evenly matched fight here, and I'd have to say Rycraft really pulled it out in the last couple rounds. Starts looking good. And whip, those are some hard
punching
shots
from a 141-pound kid. I mean,
those are right on the floating rib. Those are some. That guy's going to be feeling that for a couple days. Those are hard shots.
Oh, nice right there by Rycraft.
Good body shot.
Body shot there by Luis. Countered by Rycraft. And that will do it. So, the only bout today that exceeded 3 rounds went into 4 rounds, and well, I'm not going to say anything until the decision is final, but that was a good bout nonetheless.
That was a good bout, yep.
Real good bout. We've seen a lot of it today.
I think, knowing that we've got some unattached fighters and some out-of-town clubs, that this should be I hope a good judging. We'll have to see.
Also want to thank other sponsors from both events from July through today, Alpine Fence being one of them, Blue Mountain, Spring Water, Bernardo's Pizza right down the block from where we are here at the County Fairgrounds off Coffeen, Brown, Deerdorf, and Renzi, Cheney Tire, Coleman's Corner, Burns Landscaping, the Crossroads Diner, the Crystal Restaurant, Dorigo Service Center, the Dexter Neighborhood Market, Epley's Automotive, Sackett's, Fabco, Farrington, and the list goes on and on. Of course, I guess you just didn't have to persuade these people too much to support boxing, because they must have saw what you guys did back in spring and understood that this is something to capitalize on. That's why you had so much local support.
It is, and hopefully the support continues. We've had some naysayers about continuing after the rained-out event. I mean, on a Sunday, and the way that we had to do it, because obviously not the front with a lot of football fans, and I think we had a respectable crowd turnout. It's a little thinner now than earlier, which is their loss, because the best match is yet to come here. Joey is always sure to put on a good show. But you can still see Watertown they like their boxing, and we're going to continue doing it for them.
We're waiting for the decision of this last matchup between the American Rycraft and Luis from Cornwall, Canada. All the Canadians today, unless I'm not accurate here, are from the Kingston area. Luis, however, from Cornwall, is instructed by me by one of the mothers of one of the first bouts we had today. That was Jordan McKenzie's win over Taryn Nato of Watertown.
Yep, the Canadian fighters are typically they're game fighters. They always want to go in there.
Well, Kevin Oliver said that the coach for the Canadian team was coaching the Canadian team when he was boxing.
Yes, he's been around for years.
So he's figuring on being in his 60s, and yet you would figure that the man was no older than 50 years old. I mean,
Absolutely.
Just from what I can see.
And as I had mentioned earlier, I've seen the guy work some focus mitts.
Yeah.
Still throwing a punch to this day you don't want to step in front of.
Doesn't surprise me. We will have a decision here momentarily. Long waits for the decisions here.
Yeah.
Guess we have
takes
some accounting firm tallying everything up.
I guess. It typically doesn't take this long. Usually the ballots are, you just pretty much walk from corner to corner, and then they look at them and it's done.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner in the 141-pound weight class, in the blue corner from Canada,
once again,
Tony Luis.
Tony Luis in the blue corner. And that would mean that he won, right?
Yeah, no, in the blue corner we have...
anyway, there's your winner, Tony Luis.
Yes, Tony was in the blue corner.
All right, well, I might have made an error there. But nonetheless, that's the end of bout number 12. Luis wins it, and we will be coming back with Joey Fratelli against Eric Crabtree, the bout you don't want to miss. And go to your next media player for that at SeaweedProductions.com. We'll be back.